my darling Fumi Nation. How are you? How are we? Are we living and loving? It is spring in London and it is so nice. And our t-shirts are coming. You're going to love them. You're going to love them. Let me just say this. It's a new collection. It's a new collection. All right, my darling. So why are we here? I'll tell you why we are here. A couple of days ago, I had covered a story about Mathew Knowles, Beyonce's father. Mathew Knowles had sat down with a news outlet. He got kind of irate in a sense when the interviewer gave flowers to not only him but to Tina Knowles. And he said, well, you know, what did she do? What did she contribute? And then he just ended the conversation right there and then. I already know. Beyonce said, listen, Daddy, you will have to go and rectify this right now. And so he was out here with some kind of excuses. Yeah. But before that, I want to play for you what the Breakfast Club had to say. I only saw this after I had aired my episode. So let us take a listen and hear what she had to say.
So Mathew Knowles sat down for a conversation with a reporter from Pix 11, and it didn't even go well. It didn't go anywhere. Let's take a listen.
You've earned your flowers. I said the same thing to Miss Tina Knowles. You guys put in the work.
What work did she put in?
In the hair, clothing.
You're absolutely right. And the styling.
The styling.
The imaging, you're right.
She claimed to have preyed on the name. It's a joint effort.
We'll stop now.
Sorry, did I say something wrong?
No.
All right. Thank you so much.
That was so awkward. It was just a weird question. It was a weird way that he asked the interviewer the question. He said, well, what work did she put in? Like, you know, as if to say, she ain't do nothing.
And I think, and he hasn't, I did reach out to his team. I haven't seen anything that he's posted in response to this to kind of clarify what agitated him.
What probably happened is when Mathew Knowles does interviews sometimes, they have a list of things they don't want people to ask.
Yes.
And maybe that was on the list to talk about Tina Knowles. And maybe because they asked that, they sent the list up here.
But Mathew Knowles is doing all of this press right now because he's promoting a Destiny's Child tribute concert, right? So and he's been everywhere talking about Destiny's Child. So some of that stuff you can't get around. And I've seen them give each other a lot of love.
It sounded like he gave her the props when she talked about him being a stylist and everything. Was when he said it was a joint effort. That's when he got up and walked away. But
yeah.
I mean, she's a mom. She's a matriarch of the family. That in itself makes it a joint effort.
Both of them did it. You can do percentages and say this one did 80 and this one did 20.
But she's the mom.
Yeah,
she's the matriarch of the family.
Yeah.
That actually, it makes it more than a joint effort. I mean, if you had to ask me about parenting, I'm going to say the woman is 70-30,
I say more like
okay, 80-20, 75-25.
I feel the same way. Yeah. So I was doing a little bit more digging, and I realized that. So Mathew Knowles, that clip that we just played, that is a new clip. Page 6 dropped that yesterday.
Right.
Mathew Knowles gets up, abruptly walks out of an interview because he's asked about Tina Knowles. Right. That's picking up everywhere. But I'm like, where is the rest of the interview? Like, I don't know. It just wasn't sitting right in my spirit. Right. Go back. I see that there's an interview from a month ago, January 30th. Not a month ago, but January 30th with Candace from Pix 11. So I'm like, okay, but that part is not in there. So I call Candace and I'm like, hey, why is it that Page 6 just dropped this little piece of it? Like, what was the point of that? So I talked to Candace.
Engagement, clicks.
Well, Page 6 is not who did the original interview, though. Pix 11 is a whole different outlet. But I also asked him, too, I'm like, why did Mr. Mathew Knowles get upset? And he says, I'm like, were you asked not to put that back into the interview? Or not to ask that question? And he says no. And he's interviewed the fan, like, he's interviewed all of the girls. And, like, this is not new. So he's become, like, a safe space for them. So he was confused. But Mr. Mathew Knowles wanted that part out, so they took it out. And then now it's leaked. So I just wanted to
He wanted the part out when he left.
Yes. And that was at the end of the interview. So it's a full 40-minute interview that you can go watch. At the end of the interview, which is not there, you would have saw Candace giving him his flowers and then also giving Miss Tina his flowers. And he says in that interview, he only mentions Miss Tina kind of in passing maybe one time. That's the first direct question or direct statement he makes about her.
Maybe he had to go to the bathroom.
No, he said that Mr. Matthew Knowles said that he was leaving and that he had to go to another interview, but they were told that he went to breakfast somewhere nearby. But his publicist called and said that he didn't like that moment and he wanted to take it out of the interview.
Well, did you ask your sources if there was any IHOPs or Waffle Houses or anything nearby that he could have went to have breakfast at?
I don't know where he went to have breakfast, but I did want to clear that up though, because I feel like that was a missing piece. It made no sense to me as to why we're just seeing this when that interview's been there. But we can move on.
So let me interject. Mathew Knowles knew that he acted very childishly in that interview. He knew that. And he knew that it would not look good on him. That's what narcissists do. They have a mask and they pretend to be this charming, wonderful individual. But in actual fact, it's impossible to live with them for any extent of time. And they will continue to minimize who you are. And I truly, sincerely believe that is exactly what he did with Tina Knowles. But Mathew knew what he did. He knew that it didn't look right. He was rubbed up the wrong way. How can you be going on a tour? How? I just don't understand. How can you be going on a tour for any artist that is world renowned, and you don't think that the fashion will come in play, that the hair will not come in play? Mind you, I forgot in the last episode, this is the same Tina who was the sole breadwinner with a hairdressing salon because Mathew had given up his job in order to focus and dedicate all of his time to the group. This is a classic case where it is impossible to not mention Tina and give Tina her flowers just that you give Mathew. Mathew, I'll give him his flowers. He had an insight of which so many children, talented children, would wish that their parents had. Mathew had that 110%. Our gripe is, how can you not in any space talking about Destiny's Child? If you are talking about anything else, not a problem. But to talk about Destiny's Child, and I saw it in the comments, there was another woman also who created the group, gave the group their name, so on and so forth. It is impossible not to mention Tina Knowles. Again, another fabulous Tina Turner. It's impossible to talk about Ike Turner back in the day without Tina Turner. It's impossible because you grew this together. You grew it from the ground up. Not that she came from a sidelines and said, okay, let me come and A, B, and C. Absolutely not. I know Matthew's wife will say, Fumi, please, leave this matter. Because he's coming home to come and pour this all on me. And I talk about this because I had a girlfriend and she had a narcissistic husband. And because I am very strong, he didn't like me, I didn't like him, because I was like, I see through you. And she'd be like, Fumi, please don't say anything, please don't say anything. He always talked down to her. He never gave her any compliments. He made it a point to let her know that she did not do anything. She did not contribute to anything. It was always him. It was always about him. And I used to tell her, Max, you know what? You don't have to do this. And she always talked about the children. She said, Fumi, where will I go? I've got children. Who will want me? I hated it for her. And I identify all of those traits in Mathew Knowles as I see him right there and then in that interview. Because at the end of the day, Mathew, I think what I cannot stand that you're doing, you are the one that brought the bonfire right there into the forest. You asked the interviewer the question. Go ahead, answer your questions, nod along, hee hee ha ha. And what you don't understand, had you said, you know, Tina and I are divorced, we've gone on to marry other people, but what I can never and will never take away from her, there would really not have been any Destiny's Child without her. I have to constantly applaud her for all that she did. We did not have a styling camp, we didn't have anything for hair, we really didn't even know what we were doing. We didn't know what we were doing. And some way, somehow, Tina patched it up. Tina was a breadwinner for the family at a certain point because we had to stitch from A to B. I love the mother that she was to those children. Mathew, you don't even understand the amount of applause, the standing ovation we would have given you to say, yeah, that's a gentleman. But you see, the narcissism blinds you. And because it blinds you, you don't see that your peacock feathers is shone on you in the marketplace, and we see you for who you are. You think your wife will amount to nothing without you. You think she will not grow. You think she will not evolve. And you are shocked. Matthew, I'm saying it as fact. You are shocked that Tina even got married again. That Tina even got up and she's getting accolades and she's being awarded and she's looking still so fabulous. At 70, looking fabulous, going about minding her business. You know why? Because those are God's own children. You know why? Because you know, including plus the wife that you had, that you lost a good thing. And you cannot believe again, because of your ego, your arrogance, your narcissistic ways, you cannot believe that this woman truly is around here, these streets, surviving you. This is why I do these episodes. It's for my sisters out there. Never listen to the naysayers. Never listen to the people that tell you that you are useless, that you are rubbish, that you are worthless, that you amount to nothing, that you are not good in school, that you are not this, that you are not that. I promise you, baby girl, go your path, walk your path. You will find your way and you will trump all of them. Nobody on this earth is useless. Nobody is worthless. It's only man that sits and think that at this point in time, I'm better than you. You can be a man to nothing. You see, God, every day, God continues to show you. Hence why I have what is delayed is not denied. Moving along, because if not, I'll be here all day long. Well, it gets really exciting. Matthew came out here with one or two things to say. It was so ridiculous, but please, let us share.
So the other day, we received a tip about an interview that Matthew did maybe a month ago, and I called Matthew, we talked about it, and then the video was leaked of him answering a question about his ex-wife, Tina Knowles. Take a look.
You've earned your flowers. I said the same thing to Miss Tina Knowles. You guys put in the work, and obviously the talent was there with your kids and your grandkids.
What work did she put in?
In the hair.
Okay,
clothing,
you're absolutely right. And the styling.
The styling.
The imaging, you're right.
She claimed to have preyed on the name and different aspects of that.
Sure.
So, yeah. It's a joint effort.
We'll stop now.
So Matthew, in the interview, when the local anchor here in New York City, Candace Gibson, he asked you about Miss Tina Knowles. He said that he was trying to give you both your flowers, and you asked him, what did she do? What did you mean by that?
I think I calmly, what I said, and I'm actually quoting, what work did she put in? It was a question. When I don't do interviews, Carlos. I have conversations.
Yeah.
And I have the right, as you know, I'm a college professor. I didn't know what he meant by that. So I'm saying, calmly, what work did she put in? That was a question. I don't know how that became a comment, but it was a question. And then the gentleman went on to say her hair. Well, Tina did way more than just her hair. And if you look at the interview, I said her hair. No, she did the styling, built the image for Destiny's Child. Wouldn't you agree that that's way more than just saying someone did the hair?
No, absolutely. I think a lot of people are familiar with Destiny's Child's story. I mean, they're one of the biggest female groups of all time. And so I think a lot of people felt like it was an awkward moment. It certainly appeared to be awkward. And I think people wanted clarity because they know what Miss Tina has done. They, of course, know your legacy with Destiny's Child.
Yeah, I'm confused because if someone diminished what Tina does and just say she did the hair, and then I come back and say, no, she did the styling. Isn't that me giving flowers that she did more than just hair? And you just diminished her till she just did hair? That's why I'm just so baffled by all of this.
You should stop. Because this is when people look at you and you lose your respect. You now want to gaslight everything that you said and you did. Why? And instead of you just to be quiet, just be quiet. You came out here now with a charade talking about, no, she just did the hair. No, you posed the question to Candace. What did she do exactly? That's how this went off. Everybody cannot be wrong. Again, the narcissism. My God. You know, girls, I want you really, really, really to pay attention. When a man, I don't care how long you've been married, get out. Get out of this marriage, because this man is poison. You got to pick your poisons, but don't pick the one that will kill you. Let us continue.
Tina and I have a wonderful relationship. You can't even find a negative comment I've ever said about Tina. So I don't get it. I do get it. I mean, people try to bait us all the time to be against each other. There was a complete misrepresentation here, and I'm evaluating all legal remedies at this time.
Well, what do you mean by that?
I don't have any more comment.
Okay. So, speaking again of Miss Phoenix, when I've interviewed you, you have spoken fondly of your ex-wife.
My former wife. That's a negative term. Ex-wife. I've never referred to Tina as my ex. I'm always positive. She's my former wife, and I give her the respect of that rather than saying ex.
Well, Matthew, what is your relationship like today, and did she respond to this video?
I don't know if she responded. Are you asking if she responded
to me? Did she respond to you? Yeah. Did she call you up?
No, not at all. Not at all. We have conversations all the time. We're parents of 2 amazing kids and 3 grandkids. So we just, our family is not that way. I'm very disappointed that people are positioning this that way, just simply because I asked the question. These conversations aren't one way when you're sitting down that I can't ask you a question, Carlos. I think that's what you'll see in the future, as what we used to call interviews will become conversations.
So we talked about that interview a bit the other day, and you told me, you said that the interviewer arrived late and you were ready to pretty much, you're over it, essentially. You know, you've spoken to him, given him time, and that was the end of the interview. I think a lot of people, I just want to clear that up. So, because you didn't storm out.
No.
Yeah. So
I shook his hand, took photos afterwards, the whole bit. As I said, I had someone downstairs waiting. It was a full day of back-to-back meetings, and so I had to get going. But I wasn't there to talk about Tina. I was there to talk about Destiny's Child Iconic Reimagined Tribute. And somehow we talked 20 minutes of that, and 2 minutes of this conversation is taken over, but the whole meaning of what the conversation was about. So, look, I don't get upset, man. Carlos, that's why I wanted to come on today. But, you know, I haven't read, because I don't read social media like that, but my publicists are saying, for example, that I have something against women. All I do is support women. I'm a breast cancer survivor. I've been talking about, early detection of breast cancer since 1980. So that's a foolish comment. But look, we're in a different age, and I know it. But I just encourage people, read the print. Don't just look at the video. Read every word that was said. And you will see I was supporting Tina, that she's more than just a hairstylist.
Again, just to set the record straight, all is well between Mathew, Tina, his girls, and the family.
All is well.
You already know they said, go and rectify it and keep your mask on. Okay? Just be quiet. Don't say anything more. We don't need you to say anything. Be quiet. Be quiet. That's it. Be quiet. Smile. Every time they call Tina. And let me add to that, Uncle Mathew. Why don't you bring Tina out for an applause for the Destiny's Child reunion or the tour or whatever you're doing? Why don't you bring Miss Tina out so that everybody can see her? Why don't you have a sit-down interview with her as well? Why don't you do that so that you can really drum up the tickets? It's not enough. Quiet as it's kept. You are not that interesting. If it's Tina, more interesting. You know why? Who are the consumers for anything in a home? It's the woman. The woman is the biggest consumer when it comes to buying food for the house, for groceries, for clothes, for entertainment. It's the woman. It's the mother. Hence why we say the man buys the house, it's the woman that makes it the home. Between the two of you, they'll pick Tina first, because the last time I checked, at the end of the day, I have never, ever, in any way, shape or form, seen Miss Tina Knowles talk about you in any kind of way or gotten up off of a seat because she called your name. You did that. Own up to it, apologize for it, and we would have moved on, and I would not have to do a part 2. It is what it is. All of my love, my darlings, do not forget to like, to subscribe, and hit the notification button. Oh, you know what? Before I go, I do want to find out the name of the other contributor to Destiny's Child, because I really did not know. I saw it in the comment section. So let me get that first before I go, and then just to give her flowers, because apparently she passed away, and I was like, oh wow, so sad to hear. Her name was Mrs. Anne Andretta Tillman. She built the foundation for Destiny's Child when they were first called Girls Time. See, I did not know that. Miss Anne got them their first record company connections, and Mr. Knowles bullied his way into co-management of the group. And when Mrs. Anne died from lupus, he made it seem like it was all him. Fumi Nation, you are dangerous. When I tell you, beauty, brains, and CIA, FBI, MI6, my God, salute to you. I live for you, and I will see you. I'll see you sooner than later. All of my love. Mwah. Wow.
Hi guys, my name is ENITAN, hair coach. I am UK's first ever hair coach and a trichologist. We are a team of trichologists and hair coaches here in W6 London, and we help those who are desperate and have tried and everything else has failed. We look after those who have chronic scalp concerns, flaky, itchy scalp that's been going on for many years. We help those that have hair loss that has progressed instead of improved, and we help those that just generally want to have a better understanding of better quality hair, length, volume, and reduce that dryness. Visit us by clicking